You watch this video and you think that I'm advocating getting rid of all weeds, you're wrong. I do recognise the benefits of having weeds. I recognise that some of these plants designated as garden weeds, like the foxglove here, and like the poppy back there, and like the Californian poppy beside it, these are designated weeds, but they are very pretty. And all of those flowers, wildflowers up in the back there, could be designated as weeds. So I do recognise that some weeds are actually very colourful and very pretty. They provide food for insects, birds, seeds. They provide homes for insects, and they can be used for medicinal purposes and all the rest of it. But I'd rather they stayed outside my garden. And of course we have the dandelion. And I know that this has all sorts of medicinal type usages, but it's a pain in the head, because you tear the top off the dandelion, pull the foliage off, and the root remains. And I remember my father, I was only about 7 or 8, and my father struggled for about 2 hours digging that dandelion root out of the garden, and it went down about 2 or 3 feet, if I remember right, and it was as thick as your finger. And of course you pull at it and it'll break. Well, dandelion friends get into every crevice, and they are a blooming nuisance. The dandelion is so successful because it throws out so many seeds. Not jaggy, but serrated leaves, packed with seeds there, and those are ready to fly away. This is the stickly bickly, as we call it. But it's got another name which I can't remember. There's a whole bank of it here. It sticks to your clothes, and it smothers other plants. I've just remembered the other name for this here. It will stick to you, and it gets everywhere. And it's we call it stickly bickly, yes, but it's robin run the hedge. Just beside it is the bindweed. And it's a pain in the head as well. Nice flower on it, a nice purple flower will come on it. And it wraps itself round plants and basically strangles them. Sort of like it's almost parasitic. It's wrapped itself right round the pole here and up the raspberry cane. And you have to find the bottom of it to pull it out, but you can never get to the roots. There's it there. Bindweed. Here is the bane of my wildflower patch here. This is chickweed, and it is an absolute pain. It smothers other plants. It's got a wee white flower, chickweed, and it clumps up, and I hate it. It's all over the place here, and there's the way it's coming up. You can see that, as long as these bees don't sting me. and climbs. And there's a chunk of it there. Chickweed. And it's right through the wildflowers there. There's more of it down in here. It's everywhere. And the trouble is, you pull it and you pull your wildflowers as well, or your plants that you want to keep. There's more of it in there. More and more and more. Oh. This is my nice pink shrub growing away here, but growing up through it is this thing here. The bees actually like this, but it's a weed, and it's a pain, and it's a climber. And it's called a hairy Tare. And it grows everywhere through shrubs. And again, it's the Dickens' own job to get rid of this, because you've got to find out where the root is. And the roots wrap round your good plant's roots. There's a wee flower of it. A hairy Tare. Another weed that tries to invade my rockery, and it's a sheep's sorrel. And there it is there. And this thing can grow quite tall. It's extremely difficult to get rid of it because it burrows under the soil and it connects up, and then it comes up through the soil at different places. And it's called a sheep's sorrel. And you can never get the end of the root out. I've pulled big lengths of this, the root of this, a sheep's sorrel. And it's that kind of wee seeds. Goodbye, sheep's sorrel. There's another chunk of it. There's more. So, see, when I pull it, it's breaking there. There's more of it. So you're leaving the roots. Got some of the roots there. Sheep's sorrel. The more I'm doing this, the more blooming weeds I'm spotting. And if you don't pull out your sheep's sorrel, this is the type of length that it's going to, or height that it's going to grow to. Absolute pain. This weed here is all over the place. Comes out in a small pink flower, grows quite tall, and likes growing in clumps together, but will grow singly as well. Easy to get out, easy to pull out, mind you, but it smothers other plants about the place. And these are actually, would you believe, examples of the same plant. Only this one's bushed up a bit. Got the same wee pink flowers at the top there as this one here. And it has a red stalk, and this one has got a green stalk, but there's traces of redness in there too, so don't be mistaken, they're the same plant. I'm not sure what the name of this weed is. Could be some sort of WillowHerb. This is ivy, and this is actually attached itself to this boarding, and it'll do the same. It's it'll do the same to a hedge, wrap itself round, and then it'll attach itself to the wood of the hedge, and it's a parasite, and it'll kill the hedge. Very difficult to get rid of. You need to pull it all out, and then the hedge will come back. Another example of ivy there, running along a hedge, not a hedge, running along a wall. And I know insects and butterflies like it. This here is the hairy bittercress. Funny name for a plant. Sort of a circular shape, leaves spreading out, and it grows into sort of a wee pyramid upwards. Little white flowers, and this thing grows everywhere. Hairy bittercress. Grows far bigger than this. And it's another garden weed that will take over your garden if you allow it. A plant here that can grow up to 3 or 4 feet is Columbine. And notice the distinctive leaves on it. These sort of 3 leaves to a petal. Oh, soaked myself. That's the distinctive leaf. And it's quite a sturdy plant. Comes out in purple and pink flowers, which are quite attractive actually. You will find this being sold in the garden centre, but if you let it grow, it will grow everywhere. Columbine. There's the flower on it, and it will take over your garden. And it's extremely difficult to get rid of whenever it's this height, because the root is a bulb root and it's quite deep, and it's the Dicken's own job to get out. You have to dig it out with a fork. Columbine. And as I say, there's the distinctive leaves. And you can see that these ones are going pinky. The same plant. All the same plant here. And again, it smothers other plants trying to grow up, because these things are really pushed out over the top of them, so the other plants don't get light. And we have the nettle. I'm not going to handle these. The nettle was always a sign that there had been habitation, and of course they sting, and they'll you'll itch at them for days. And there's all sorts of medicinal usages for nettles as well. You can, and I think you can actually eat them. And they're brilliant for butterflies. Butterflies like them a lot. I do want this boy getting into your garden. This is a bramble. Absolute pain in the head. Will rip you, actually. Rip your skin and attach itself and all the rest. And it's a Dickens of a job to get rid of. Bit of bramble coming through, and if I'm walking past there, that's going to attach and catch on my my skin or my jumper. And this tall weed is a prickly milk thistle. Grows it just about everywhere. Not very difficult to get rid of. Just unless the roots in cracks of a wall or something like that, you'll be able to dig it out easy enough. Prickly milk thistle. And daisies, you can see, are killing the grass. They smother the grass, and they are the Dickens' own job to get out, because you leave the roots. Pretty little flowers, but that whole area is all daisies and dandelions, and it's supposed to be lawn. This is what you don't want to allow to get into your garden or into your lawn. This is the buttercup, and it sends out runners. It spreads very fast, and it's difficult to get rid of. And this is a small example of a buttercup. You see the way it spreads over the top of the grass. And has to be dug out.